In this video, we are going to use nets to find the surface area of three-dimensional figures. Let's begin. So surface area is the total amount of the total area of the outside, or the surfaces, actually I should probably write that, of the surfaces, the outside surfaces, of a three-dimensional object. It is measured in square units, or squared units. So it's asking surface area is how many squares, flat squares, fit on the outside of a 3D shape. Examples of square units are inches square. Use the little 2 to indicate square. Feet square. We can have miles square. If we go metric, meter square, kilometers square, centimeter square. And if we have no units at all, we would just say units squared, which would just be the letter U. So we are going to decompose this net into shapes and complete the table and determine the total surface area of the rectangular prism. Label each face of the net with the area to visualize it. So what we have here is really, I should probably draw a picture for you, show you what this is a rectangular prism. So imagine we've got this, let's do this. Let's kind of make the front kind of wide like that. So that's the front of a box, and then kind of a narrower, let's do a top of the box, like that, and then like that. That wasn't very good. Let's try that again. Kind of like that. There we go. Kind of smaller on the side. All right, so there we go. We have our box. So what we have is, what it says is we've got 3 shapes. Now, you may be looking at this and thinking that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't we have 6 shapes? Yes, we technically have 6 rectangles. And the reason they have shape 1, shape 2, shape 3 is that many of these rectangles, or all of the rectangles, are doubled. So imagine the front side of the box. Actually, let's start off with the top of the box. Let's say you've got the top of the box right here. So the top is a rectangle, right? And guess what? You have that same rectangle on the bottom as well. It's going to be the same size as the top, because the top and the bottom are opposite of each other, and they are going to be congruent, or the same size or shape. So if we look at this net, I would say the top and the bottom, the bases, probably these figures right here. Let's go ahead and I'm going to do that. And then we have a front of the box, right? So that rectangle in the front. And guess what? We have that same exact rectangle in the back. The front and the back mirror each other, so they are going to be congruent or equal in size and shape as well. So let's say this is the front. Would the back be right next to it? Well, let's think about this. Here's the front. Is it touching the back? No, it's you've got the sides kind of, so we have the front and the back, and they're not exactly touching each other, because those 2 rectangles aren't touching each other. So that's why I would say, oh, okay, so this is the front, this is the side, and this is the back, and this is the other side. So the front touches what two rectangles? The right side and the left side, which we can't see. So let's do a right side, a left side. Here's the right side. And then the left side is on the other side. There it is. So that's what they mean by 3 shapes. So let's go ahead and do, that's the top and bottom. This is going to be the front and back, shape 2, and then the back. The left and the right. You could even say, label what each of these are, but I don't necessarily have to. So let's start off with our formula. All these shapes are rectangles, so the formula for all of them is going to be area equals base times height. So let's look at the top and the bottom. That is the green thing that I made. This is 8, and I know this is 3, so guess what? This is also going to be 3. So this is 8 by 3. So area is going to be 8 times 3. And 8 times 3 is 24. And it's going to be 24 square meters. Let's go ahead and write that. Oh, actually, hold up. 24 is just one of them. So I'm going to write down that this right here is 24, which means this up here is also 24. Let's do shape 2, which I said was the front and back. So it is a rectangle. So we are going to use our same formula, area equals base times height. And I believe what they're saying is that this is the base right here. It is 15, or the height at least, whichever measurement it is. And what would this be? Well, that would be 8. And how do I know that? Well, take a look. It's down right there. So that's 15 times 8. 15 times 8. And I believe that is 120 square meters. So if that's 120, the other side's also going to be 120. And finally, the blue parts. Let's see. Let's take a look. Let's see. This height is base and height of these. That's going to be 15. And then the base, the bottom piece. Well, let's see. If this is 3, then this is also going to be 3. Because when it folds down, it's going to touch that side. So we know that this is going to be 3. So formula is area equals base times height, because we are talking about rectangles. The base is 3. Well, let's go ahead and say it's 15. The height is 3. Doesn't really matter which number is which. And that is 45 meters square. So that's 45, and this is 45. So the total surface area is not just 24 plus 120 plus 45. Because, as you know, there is 2 120s, there's 2 45s, and there's 2 24s. So one way of doing this is that you can add up each number twice, or double each number. So 24 times 2 is 48. 120 times 2 is 240. 45 times 2 is 90. Another way of doing this, it might be a faster way, is just taking all of these numbers, 24 plus 120 plus 45, adding them up first, and then timesing it by 2. So let's do it that way. 24 plus 120, in my head, that's 144. Plus of another 45, that is 180, 189, I think this is. Better use my calculator just to check. Yep, 189. If I double that, I end up with 378. And remember, we do have to include our units, so that is going to be meters square. So what do we notice about the different faces of the rectangular prism? Well, there are a couple things I notice, but for a rectangular prism, each of them are doubled. So each face is doubled. Like, because you have a front and a back, which are the same, a top and the bottom, which are the same, and a left and right. So front, back, top, bottom, left, right, left. Yeah. So we can add those all up and the double of them, or you can double all of these first and then add them up together. Both ways will work. Something you may know also is that if the measurements are 15, 8, and 3, well, then you're going to have 8 times 3, 8 times 15, and then 15 times 3. So you're going to multiply, for example, 8 times 15, 8 times 3, and then now you have to multiply 15 times 3. So you want to basically multiply both of these numbers. Each of these numbers will show up twice. So 8 and 8, 3 and 3, 15 and 15. Anyways, let's go ahead and try number 2. So we are going to decompose this. We've taken a triangular prism, which what that looks like is looks like a right triangle. So imagine you've got this right triangle looking box thing. You've got a right triangle in the front, and then it's just one of the bases of the box. Here's the other end of the box, and it just kind of looks like that. So it's like a wedge. I did not do a very good job. Does not look very even, but tried my best. There we go. There we go. And then there's well, let's go ahead and work through this. So you've got this base. Let's start off with the bases. The base is the triangles right here. No argument over what the base is. For this shape up here, technically, you can say any of these rectangles are bases, but for this one, the triangles are definitely the bases, and everything else is a lateral face. So that is the base. And then what you're going to have is like 3, like imagine there's a triangle on the other side. You're going to need one of your lateral faces, which is this guy right here. That's the longest side of the triangle right there. You're going to need that one covering that side. So you're going to need a rectangle covering this top side. You're also going to need a rectangle covering the bottom. And you're also going to need one more rectangle that kind of covers this side right here. Let's use pink. So you're going to have 3 different rectangles plus your 2 faces. So that's how we got 4 shapes. So 3 different kinds of rectangles, and so that's 3 shapes, and then your 2 bases, which are identical, and they are triangles. So let's go ahead and say the shape 1 is going to be our bases. Let's do, let's make this another shape right here. That'll be shape 2. Shape 3, we're going to say, let's go ahead and make that this one right here. And then shape 4 is going to be right here. So 3 different kinds of rectangles and the 2 triangular bases. So for the first one, first shape, the triangles, the formula is area equals base times height divided by 2. So let's look for the base and the height of this triangle. So we can say the base is 3 and the height is 4. So 3 times 4. Let's try that. 3 times 4 divided by 2. That is going to be 6. It's going to be 6 square centimeters. Let's try shape number 2. Rectangle, 7 times 5. Well, 7 times 5. Oh, let's write the formula again. It's a rectangle, so it's area equals base times height. And it's going to be 7 times 5. And 7 times 5 is 35. All right, square centimeters. Shape 3, the blue shape right here, also a rectangle. It's 4 by something. Where can I find this length? Oh, let's look at the top. It's 7, so 4 times 7. Again, it's a rectangle, so area equals base times height. So it's 4 times 7, and I believe that equals 28 square centimeters. And finally, shape number 4. I think I made that one pink. So it is also a rectangle, therefore the formula is base times height. Area equals base times height. The base, let's take a look. Well, one of the numbers that you're going to multiply by is this number, which is right there, it's 7. So it's going to be 7 times something. So if this is the height, this is 4, and this is 5, guess what? There's this side that's 3, this side is 4, and guess what? This side touches this side, so that's going to be 5. I've already multiplied that, that's 4, which means this side is going to be, touching that side, it's going to be 3. So it's going to be base times height, which is 7 times 3, and that's going to be 21 square centimeters. So when we do this, we're going to need to double, because we have area of a triangle, then area of 1 rectangle, 2 rectangles, 3 rectangles. I should probably write these numbers in there. So the first one is 6. There are 2 of them. Then 35. Then 28. Then 21. So we can't just add this and this and this and this up, because there are 2 of them. So that really should be 12. So let's, off the top of my head, I cannot add these numbers. I mean, I could. It just might take a while, and I might make a mistake. So 6 plus 6 plus 35 plus 28 plus 21 gets us 96. So 96 square centimeters is going to be the total surface area. Let's try number 10. Also a triangular prism. This time it looks like a different kind of triangle, not a right triangle. Might even be an equilateral triangle. I think it actually is. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is supposed to be an equilateral triangle, which means all the sides are equal. So, see, there are only 2 shapes. We've got our bases right here, top and bottom. So they're saying this side is 8, but also this side. And you know what? That side is going to be 8 as well. So for our green shape, formula is area equals base times height divided by 2. The base is 8. The height is 7. So 8 times 7 divided by 2. And I believe that is 28 square meters. Let's try shape 2, which they're all going to be the same. So all of these are going to be shape 2. They're all the same, because if the sides of the triangle are 8 and the sides, touch this edge and this edge, that means they're all, if this side is 8 and that side is 8, means this is going to be 8 and that's going to be 8. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down right now. This is 8 and this is 8, and this right here is 11.2. So 11.2 times 8. I don't know off the top of my head. 88 plus another 0.16, so probably 89.4. .2. Oops, I did not write that down. So shape 2 is also it's actually, shape 2 is a rectangle. They're all rectangles, so area equals base times height. Say 8 times 11.1. Again, I believe, let's try that one more time. 11.2, that's 89.6. So 89.6. And that's going to be square meters. So there are, actually, let's write these down. This is 28, and this is also 28, and this is 89.6, 89.6, also 89.6. There are 3 of them, so, oops, that was ugly. Just times it by 3 or add them 3 times. Let me go ahead and use my trusty calculator. So if I had 3 of those, it would be 268.8. And then I have to add the 28 twice. And if you did that, you should get 324.8 meters square. And you may be wondering, how come I doubled this and, tripled that? It's because we have 2 of those triangles that are 28 meters square, and then 3 of these rectangles, which are 89.6 meters square. Let's try number 4. We've got a square pyramid. Or not a square pyramid, but a rectangular pyramid. So we are, when we have a rectangular pyramid, we're going to have one base, because pyramids only have one base. And that's it. Now afterward, you've also got these triangles. I know this one. And you're going to have that same triangle on the bottom as well. So the opposite sides, the triangles opposite of each other on a pyramid are going to be identical. And then we've got these 2 smaller triangles on the other sides. This is also, there it is. So let's go ahead and find the area of the stuff. First of all, shape number 1, let's go ahead and say that's my base, that's my green base. Shape number 2, let's make that the orange ones. And shape number 3, let's go ahead and say those are the blue triangles. So start with the easiest. Shape 1 is a rectangle, so it's just going to be base times height. Base times height is 10 times 6. You're not sure, take a look. This is 10, that's 6, which means this is also 10 and that's 6. So it's base times height, which gets us 60 square inches. If we look at the orange shape, it's write down the formula because it is a triangle. It's base times height divided by 2. So the base of this should be right there, and it is. It's 10, and the height is h, and we got a 8, and we got to divide by 2. So it's going to be base is 10, height is 8, and divide that by 2. And that's going to get us 40 square inches. Remember, because I keep forgetting, I need to write this stuff down in the actual shape. It helps keep things organized. And then finally, the blue triangles. You've got a base of 6 and a height of 9. And the area of a triangle formula, of course, is base times height divided by 2. And we said we should, what did we say we should do? We should, the base is 6 and the height is 9. So the base is 6, the height is 9, and we divide by 2. I believe that is 27 square inches. So this is going to be 27. That's also going to be 27. And we have everything. We just need to add all this up. We have 60 plus 27 plus 27 plus 40 plus 40. I believe that is, let's try this, 27, that's 54, 80. So this should be 194. Once I add up all the numbers, I should have 194 square inches. That sounds about right to me. Last question. It says, Janelle found the surface area of the square pyramid below. Describe Janelle's error and correct her mistake. So it's got a height of 8 and a base of 12 for this rectangular, this square pyramid. If we need to find the area of the base, it's 12 times 12. And how do we know that? Well, it's a square, and all squares have the same, all their sides are equal or congruent. So let's see. So she says that the base of the square is 12, the height is 12, which is 104 centimeters square. Yes, that is true. I agree. I think this is also going to be 144. And then finally, we need to figure out the areas of triangles. 1/2 base times height, which is the same thing as base and height divided by 2. And then they said the base is 12 and the height is 8. Base is 12, height is 8. That is correct. And 12 times 8 is times 1/2. Let's see. I also got 48. And the surface area is 240. Huh. That seems a little bit off to me. Seems like, it would be higher. So let's try this. This is 48, that's 48, that's 48, and this is also 48. So there are 4 48ths. And then you got to add the 144 from the base. And I actually got 336 inches square, or centimeters square. Let's see. I bet her mistake, 144 plus 48. Well, I was thinking she just added this and she added that. But that seems a little bit short. I see what she did. Was she added the square once, and she added only the triangles twice, where you need to add it 4 times. So her mistake is she didn't she likely did not add in area of all triangles. And that's that. Hopefully you now understand how to use nets to solve for surface area of 3D figures. Go ahead and try some problems on your own. Good luck.